You're walking through a crowded street when suddenly, without thinking, without slowing down, your eyes land on someone across the road. And you know them. Not because you studied their features, not because you analyzed their nose or their jawline, you just knew. In less than a heartbeat, your brain scanned a moving face in a sea of strangers and whispered a name. How? How does your mind perform something that even advanced computers still struggle to do perfectly? How can it recognize a face in bad lighting, from a strange angle after years apart, and still be right? And what's happening in that split second before you consciously realize who you're looking at? Because the speed of it is almost unsettling. Welcome back to Simple Things Why and How, where we take everyday miracles and uncover the invisible brilliance behind them. Face recognition feels ordinary, automatic, effortless. But it is one of the most complex tasks your brain performs, and it does it in milliseconds. To understand how, we have to step into the silent machinery inside your skull. Because your brain does not see faces the way you think it does. When light reflects off someone's face and enters your eyes, it's converted into electrical signals that race toward the back of your brain, to the visual cortex. This is where raw visual data is first processed. Shapes, lines, contrasts, movement. But here's the fascinating part. Your brain doesn't patiently build a face from scratch every time you see one. It doesn't measure the distance between eyes like a ruler. It doesn't consciously compare cheekbones or lips. Instead, it predicts. Your brain is constantly making rapid guesses based on patterns it has learned over your entire life. And when it comes to faces, it has an entire specialized system dedicated to the job. Deep within your temporal lobe lies a region often called the fusiform face area. Think of it as a highly trained facial recognition expert that has spent years memorizing patterns, subtle differences, emotional cues. The moment a configuration resembling two eyes above a nose above a mouth appears, this area activates almost instantly. It doesn't ask, "Is this a face?" It assumes it is, and works from there. You might wonder, why faces? Why does the brain treat them differently from objects like chairs or cars? Because faces are survival. Long before modern cities and smartphones, recognizing a face quickly meant identifying friend or enemy, family or stranger, safety or threat. A slight twitch of the eyebrows could signal anger. A micro-expression around the mouth could signal trust. Your ancestors who recognized these cues faster were more likely to survive, to bond, to cooperate. Over thousands of years, the brain became extraordinarily efficient at processing faces as whole patterns rather than as separate pieces. This is why turning a face upside down makes it strangely harder to recognize. Your brain is wired to process the overall configuration, not just individual features. It's holistic, immediate, almost instinctive. Research shows that your brain can detect a face in as little as 100 to 200 milliseconds. That's faster than a blink. Before you consciously think, "That's Sarah," your brain has already matched the incoming image to stored memories. Not just of how that person looks, but how they move, how they smile, even how they make you feel. Recognition isn't just visual, it's emotional. The moment you see a loved one, areas linked to memory and feeling activate alongside visual regions. The face isn't just identified, it's experienced. And that's why seeing someone familiar can instantly shift your mood, calm your anxiety, or spark joy. Your brain doesn't just recognize faces, it attaches meaning to them. To truly appreciate how powerful this system is, consider what happens when it breaks. There's a rare condition called prosopagnosia, or face blindness, where individuals cannot reliably recognize faces, even those of close family members. They may see eyes, a nose, a mouth, but the pattern never locks into identity. Imagine living in a world where every face feels unfamiliar, where recognition depends on voice, hairstyle, or clothing instead. It reveals just how automatic and invisible this ability normally is. We rarely notice it because it almost never fails. So how does your brain recognize faces so fast? It doesn't slowly analyze, it anticipates. It doesn't isolate features, it processes patterns. It doesn't simply see, it connects. In a fraction of a second, your brain cross-references years of memories, emotions, and stored templates to deliver a single, effortless conclusion. I know you, and maybe that's what makes it so beautiful. Because face recognition isn't just about identification. It's about relationship, about belonging, about instantly locating yourself within a social world. Your brain evolved not just to survive alone, but to find others, to know them, to remember them, to feel something when you see them again. So the next time you lock eyes with someone across a room and recognition flashes between you in silence, remember that beneath that simple moment lies one of the fastest and most extraordinary processes your mind can perform. If this changed the way you see something as ordinary as a face, give this video a like so more curious minds can discover it. Share it with someone whose face you'd recognize anywhere. And subscribe to Simple Things Why and How, because the simplest human abilities often hide the most profound mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and look a little closer.